morning guys, happy Monday and welcome to my 13th week of marathon training. If you're new to my channel, I'm Marissa. I'm training for the Richmond, Virginia Marathon this coming November, and I'm officially in my second half of marathon training now. If you saw my previous videos, you know I just raced the Ashland Half Marathon this past weekend and it went way better than I ever expected it to. So it led me to assess my goals, and originally I was shooting for a sub 3:40 marathon time, but with the way my training has progressed and evolved the last 12 weeks, and with this great mid-training half marathon race, I am now shooting for a Boston qualifying time of a sub 3:25. So lots of big goals. I really hope that I can make it happen, but we will see. I'm excited for the second half of my training. I'm still kind of coming down from the high of this past weekend and the race. It was just such a great atmosphere. I had such a fun time, and I'm really looking forward to racing again in November. But this week I figured I'd talk a little bit about how my goals are shifting and what that looks like for my training, because obviously with a sub 3:40 in mind, my times for my runs and my workouts looked a lot different the first half of training. But now that I've gained a lot more confidence that I actually might be able to hit a Boston Qualifier, I am looking at kind of switching up the second half of my training, making my long run workouts a little bit different, and really just testing my fitness even more in hopes of being able to hit those times come race day. There's still a lot of work to be done, so I'm really hoping to hit this second half of training really strong. Because I had that race yesterday though, even though it was a B race for me, I do feel like I'm still riding a pretty nice high from that. And even though I'm halfway through, I really don't feel like running this week. I feel like just kind of taking it easy and living in the glory of this past weekend, but I know I have to hit the ground running strong so that I can hit my goals come November. But I figured I'd talk a little bit about that, just kind of post-race highs and post-race blues, because I definitely feel like it's kind of a roller coaster of emotion. Even when it's not the A race that you were prepping for, I feel like every race you experience a huge mix of emotions coming out of it. So I figured I'd talk a little bit about that this week as well, on top of how I'm switching up my training and moving forward to hitting some big goals come November. But anyway, this morning we are starting off with a 6-mile run. Normally on Mondays I do some sort of a tempo run where I try and hit like a 7:25 to 7:40 pace. However, just coming off of this race literally 2 days ago, my legs are still feeling a little sore, so I'm just going to take it easy this morning. I'm still going to do 6, but I'm just going to take it at a comfortable pace. So let's get after it. Alrighty, 6 miles is done. Overall felt pretty good. Legs are still feeling pretty tight though from the race, so I am going to do a really good stretch and roll out just to make sure that I don't get injured. Like I said, I'm definitely going to kind of take things a little bit easier this week. I do still plan on doing a interval session, but starting this week I am going to switch up my routine a little bit. So if you've seen my previous videos, normally I do an easy run on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, along with a lift on those days. And then I do a long run on Saturday, a track workout on Wednesday, and then a tempo run on Monday. But recently I've really been wanting to be a bigger part of my community, meet some new people. So I've been going to a run club recently. I made a couple friends. I also started some part-time work at a strength and conditioning and high rocks gym here in Richmond. So I'm going to be helping out with a run club with them, as well as some front desk work. So I decided to make Tuesday more of a fun day for me and make it very social. So I am going to start doing the run club every Tuesday morning. And then Tuesday nights, I plan on going to the strength and conditioning gym and doing a high rocks workout with them. So a little bit different. It's not very specific to marathon prep or training. I just wanted something a little bit more fun. I have been feeling very lonely on my runs recently and training by myself. So I really just wanted at least one day of the week to be more social, to exercise with other people. Being that the high rocks workouts are more challenging, they are high intensity. It's a lot of like squats with weights and farmer's carry and sled pushes and rowing and pull-ups and burpees. So lots of different exercises with heavier weight. The last High Rocks workout I tried a couple weeks ago, I was pretty sore the next day. So because Wednesdays are normally my speed interval days, I plan on moving that to Thursday instead, just because I do want to be more fresh for that. That's a really important part of marathon training and building in speed, which is going to be especially key for the second half here when I'm trying to qualify for Boston. So I'm going to move that to Thursday and either have a full rest day on Wednesday or an easy run depending on how I feel. And then I'll do the opposite on Friday. So we'll see. This is kind of an experiment this week to see how it goes. But again, I want to be more social. I want to be more involved in the community. So I'm trying to also prioritize that on top of checking all the boxes I need to for this marathon prep. But I'm going to go get some breakfast because I am starving, and then I'm going to do a good stretching, rolling out session for these sore legs. Alrighty, good morning. Normally Tuesdays I have a lift and an easy run, but like I mentioned, I'm switching up my routine a little bit. So I am going to do just 3 miles this morning with the run club, and then I'll do a High Rocks workout closer to dinner time. I was supposed to run 5 this morning, and if you saw my previous video, I did run 2 miles by myself last week before run club. But during the High Rocks workout, there is a bit of running too. And so I figured, you know what, I'm not going to push it. So I'm just going to run the 3 with the run club and then do the High Rocks workout, which will include some running as well. That'll be good enough for today. But yeah, I'm looking forward to today. It should be nice just to be a little bit more social. It's also just really nice to be surrounded by other healthy, fit people who have similar goals. It's very motivating and encouraging. Alrighty guys, it's Wednesday. I'm so sorry I didn't film much yesterday. The day was jam-packed and honestly totally got away from me. So again, I went to the run club in the morning, which is great. I've been meeting a lot more people. I feel like I'm so much more a part of the Richmond community now. So that has been a really nice experience. Definitely still plan on going to those every week. And then in the afternoon, I did a High Rocks workout class with Pure Fitness here in Richmond. It was awesome. You know, they're still like probably the hardest workouts I've ever done. Super fun, super motivating, and again, just getting to meet a lot of really cool people. And then also yesterday, I had some exciting personal news. I officially landed a job and signed an offer letter, which is super crazy. If you don't know, I'm actually a trained podiatrist, so foot and ankle physician, but after 2.5 years of practicing on my own, being in some toxic work environments and just seeing where healthcare was going in general, I decided that I no longer wanted to be a part of it. So that's when I decided to transition careers and choose a completely different path for myself. And it's been 8 months of interviewing and lots of rejections, but I finally landed my shot, so I'm very excited, very happy for this new chapter in my life. But anyway, if you saw my previous video, you know this past weekend was also a big weekend for me. Not just in terms of hitting an 11-minute PR in my half marathon time, but also in terms of mindset. So as I've mentioned, I decided to pursue a Boston qualifying time for my upcoming marathon this November. And honestly, this feels both really exciting and very intimidating to say out loud. But I wanted to take you guys along for the ride as I figure out how I'm going to tackle this. So let's back up a little bit. Up until now, my training has been really focused on building fitness and preparing to run a strong marathon sub 3:40. My weeks have been pretty consistent, long runs on the weekend, 2 workouts during the week, 1 rest day, and filling the rest of the days with easy mileage. But as I look at where I'm at right now, I realize I'm capable of a lot more than I originally thought I was. I tend to really struggle with self-doubt when it comes to my running abilities, but racing that half marathon this past Saturday and hitting a time of 1:37 was an incredible confidence boost for me. For those of you that are new to my channel, I have been running consistently now for about 12 years, but really have mainly used running as a way to maintain fitness and just as something that makes me feel good. I was never naturally good at running. In fact, I was on my middle school and high school track team when I was younger, and I came in last place for every race, and I'm being completely honest when I say that. I was terrible. It really wasn't in college that I started to pursue it a little bit more seriously with some consistency, but even still at that point I was really running more for fun and using it as a stress relief, not chasing any big goals or trying to get faster. And even when I raced previous half marathons and my first marathon a couple years ago, I really was just racing them just to finish the race. But this past year, with the stress of unemployment, I realized I needed more out of running. So I decided to really pour my heart and soul into it this year, and running definitely gave back to me, let me tell you. Over the past couple months, I've been seeing such a huge improvement in myself. I've been hitting times I never thought were possible for me, hitting PRs during training runs, and I even hit a 10K PR during my half marathon this past weekend. And honestly, I'm so freaking proud of myself for doing it. And that's really what sparked this shift in me. Instead of just running to finish the race, I really want to see if I can push to hit that BQ. So for anyone that doesn't know, the Boston Marathon has qualifying times based on age and gender. So for me, that means running a sub 3:25 marathon time, which is equivalent to just below a 7:49 minute per mile pace or a 4:51 minute per kilometer pace. Right now, my fitness is pretty strong, which was evident from my half marathon this past weekend, but in terms of marathon fitness, it isn't quite there yet. But I do think I could close the gap with some adjustments in this second half of training. And even with how well everything has been going for me so far, I do know that it's still a pretty lofty goal for me, but I'd rather put myself out there and go for it versus wondering if I could have done it. So here's my plan. So first, I'm going to make some tweaks in terms of my overall mileage quantity and quality. So originally the training plan I created, I really didn't have myself going much more than 40 miles per week, but I've realized that my legs are able to handle low 40s right now pretty comfortably. So I'm planning on hitting some bigger mileage weeks in the 50s to build some more endurance and fatigue resistance. And I'll keep building up my long runs, but I also wanted to add a little bit more quality to them as well. So originally I planned on doing a decent number of them at an easy pace and then pepper in some long runs with structured workouts. But I now plan to do most of my long runs with some sort of structured workout in them. So some sort of progression run or built-in marathon pace efforts so that race day feels a lot more manageable. Now, not all of my miles will be at my marathon pace because I do want to make sure that my legs recover for the harder interval sessions later that week. And this was something I made a mistake with my first marathon training. I pretty much ran every single long run at the same exact pace. And that's really why I didn't really see much improvement in my speed. And second, I am introducing some more structured workouts throughout my week. If you've seen my previous videos, you know I typically do some sort of a tempo run on Monday and a track workout on Wednesday. However, I now plan to add a little bit more variety to my training. So I'd like to build in some other workouts like threshold sessions, shorter runs at marathon pace, as well as keeping some of those shorter intervals to keep my legs strong. And the goal of these speed sessions really is to run faster than marathon pace so that come race day, holding marathon pace for 26.2 miles feels easy. And third, I'm paying more attention to my recovery and my strength. I know if I really want to hit a Boston qualifying time, I can't afford to let little things slide. That means being more disciplined with my sleep, my nutrition, and my strength training. For strength, like I mentioned, I've been really having fun with those high rocks conditioning classes. I love that the workouts are dynamic and actually incorporate some running into them as well. So I do plan on continuing to do these, along with hitting at least one more strength session that's more traditional, like hitting the squat rack, deadlifts, stuff like that. In terms of nutrition, I feel like overall I have a pretty good handle on this. I like to track my macros, so I make sure that I'm getting enough carbs and healthy fats to support my runs, as well as enough protein to fuel my recovery. Biggest thing I'm currently dealing with on and off is a little acid reflux. If you saw my last video, I kind of suffered through my half marathon with that issue. So I'm currently working on cutting out foods that I know aggravate it, like ketchup, black coffee, and just seeing if I can get it to settle down on its own. Otherwise, I'll probably have to see a GI specialist for some long-term medication if I can't get it to go away. In terms of sleep, I've been working on this for the past couple of months now. I realize I'm a big mouth breather at night, and I find that I typically don't have problems falling asleep, but I have trouble staying asleep. So recently I've been using some mouth tape at night, which I actually found has really helped me, as well as having an air purifier next to my bed that also kind of acts like a nice little white noise machine too. I've tried melatonin in the past, but I really can't stand it. I feel like it makes me really, really groggy in the morning, so I stopped using that. I have tried sleepy teas before, which I do really like. I like that they make me feel really calm and relaxed before bed, but unfortunately they just make me feel like I have to get up and pee in the middle of the night. So I stopped using that as well. Recently, I started taking magnesium gummies at night, which is supposed to help promote better sleep as well as muscle recovery. I haven't tested this out long enough to see benefits yet, but I will keep you guys updated on that. I think the biggest change for me in training is going to have to be mental. Chasing a Boston qualifying time is a whole different mindset than just finishing a marathon. It's about discipline, about showing up on the hard days, and about believing in yourself even when the workouts feel impossible. I think my half marathon time really helped boost my confidence, but I know that this is going to be the ultimate test for me, honestly. So that's my plan. I'm officially chasing a Boston qualifying time, which is insane to say and continue to say out loud. Hopefully the more times I say it, I'll believe it more and more. Back to that mindset part. That's going to be the hardest part for me. I'm very excited to take on this journey with you guys. I'm also super nervous, but thank you for following along. And if you're chasing a big goal of your own, whether it's a specific race or a specific time, please let me know in the comments below. I like not feeling like I'm the only one. But anyway, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my rest day here and relish in the highs of this past week. Good morning. It is Thursday. Normally Thursdays are my rest day, but like you guys saw, I took that yesterday. So today is a workout day. I am actually running with the girl that paced me through the half marathon. After meeting her, we exchanged numbers and decided to meet up this morning to do a little workout run. So we're doing a total of 8 miles. The first 4 miles are going to be steady, and then the last 4 miles, we're going to do sets of 10 1-minute pickups at a 10K pace with 2 minutes of recovery jogging in between each one. So should be tough, should be fun. She's such a good runner. So I'm sure she's going to run me into the ground and I'm going to be dead after this. So we will see if I can keep up, but let's go do it. Alrighty guys, just got back from my run. It went really well. We did a total of 8 miles, 4 miles of warm up, and then 10 by 1-minute pickups. Actually went surprisingly well. We kept the pace for the pickups around a 6:20 to a 6:40 minute per mile pace, which was pretty fast, but I just kept telling myself you can do anything for a minute, and that helps me get through it. And it was also really nice to have a running buddy. It really holds you accountable. It forces you to run faster. And it was just really nice to run with her. She's super fast. Her goals are bigger than mine. So not only is it great to have a new friend and someone to run with, but I think she's going to really make me a better runner too. So I'm really excited about that. But for now, I am starving, so I'm going to go make myself some breakfast. The rest of the day looks pretty chill for me. I have some paperwork to fill out for my new job, which is exciting. And this afternoon, I'm also coaching a compromised run club with Pure Fitness. But otherwise, just taking it easy, relaxing, and enjoying some nicer weather. Good morning, guys. It's Friday. This week has been incredible in terms of temperature in the morning. It still gets pretty hot come afternoon time, still in like the high 70s, but the mornings have been such low humidity and has felt so great. Like this is exactly the temperature that I've definitely been waiting for, so it feels so nice. And really looking forward to my long run tomorrow too. It's just so much nicer to go on these runs, especially the long runs when it's not 90% humidity and like high 70s by like 8 o'clock. So really, really nice. Feels great. Fall is definitely coming, so really excited about that. It's definitely my favorite season, especially as a runner. But already this morning I went to the gym, just did upper body lifting, felt pretty good. And now I'm just gonna go for a really easy 5-mile run around the neighborhood, just to loosen up my legs a little bit before tomorrow's long run. So let's get after it. Alrighty, 5 miles is done. Felt really good. Weather is amazing. Took it nice and easy. And honestly, my legs have definitely been feeling a lot more sore this week. I think just with the race last weekend. So it was nice to kind of shake them out a little bit, run nice and chill. They're starting to feel a little bit better today, so that's nice. And just in time to hit the long run strong tomorrow. Alrighty, good morning, guys. Happy Long Run Saturday. We are doing 16 miles this morning. So it is going to be a workout run. So I'm going to do half a mile warm up and cool down, and then 15 miles of actual workout. It's going to be a progression run. So the first 5 miles will be 20% slower than my marathon pace, which is right around an 8:20 minute per mile pace. And then the next 5 miles will be 10% slower than my marathon pace, which is right around an 8 minute per mile. And then the last 5 miles will be at marathon pace, which is right around a 7:45-ish. So we'll see how it goes. Weather is beautiful this morning. It's about 60 degrees right now. Clear skies, absolutely gorgeous sunrise driving here today. So I'm a little tired this morning. I really feel like I did not sleep very well last night, which kind of sucks. But we're here. We're getting it done. Had some pre-workout this morning, so we're going to crush it. Let's get going. All right, cheers. 16 miles is done. It was a pretty good workout. Really, really tough, honestly. And I was actually feeling a little bit of hip pain, which I've had this hip pain before. I feel like it's IT band pain right where it inserts onto the hip. But it started bothering me a little bit this past week, I think after the race, and just kind of pushing it a little bit more during the race. So I'm going to go home and roll it out really good. It was kind of feeling better a couple days ago. I think this long run again kind of aggravated it again. So I'm going to take it easy. So I'll just keep an eye on it, see how I feel, and go from there. For the rest of the day, I'm actually going to the mall with my husband. We're gonna walk around a little bit. There's a pretty cute outdoor mall up in Short Pump, which is about 20-30 minutes from us. I might get myself a cute new outfit for our upcoming trip to Paris next month, just as a little celebratory thing for getting a job. And also might treat myself to a pumpkin spice latte because 'tis the season now. Starbucks is officially out with their fall menus. But yeah, cheers to getting the run done and enjoying the rest of the day. Good morning, guys. It's Sunday, so had a really nice day yesterday. As I mentioned, the long run went really well. Then I went shopping to celebrate getting a new job. I got myself some new workout outfits and some outfits for Paris, so very excited. Clothes are the way to my heart. I figured I'd just get a lot more use out of them than a meal that I'll finish in 5 minutes. Very happy. Love these Lululemon shorts. I've seen a lot of girls wearing them recently, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about them because the texture is kind of strange. But the minute I put them on in the store, I was like, yep, these have to be mine. So grabbed a pair, and then I grabbed this cute little $10 tank from Altered State. So very happy, very fun. Now, hopefully it'll make me run faster. But this morning I went to the gym already. I did a lot more glute focused strengthening exercises because I've been having a little bit of hip pain. I think this is getting overworked because my glutes aren't as strong, and I have been doing a lot of glute exercises over the months, but I think increasing the running a lot more and then also dropping back on the strength training just a little bit, at least more so than I previously was doing the first half of the year, has caused a little bit of weakness and imbalance. So I'm just trying to work on that and specifically strengthening that. So I'm going to try and do some of those exercises every day just so that I can kick this out so that this doesn't become a bigger issue. I have had this hip issue in the past, so it's not new to me. So I know I struggle with this side, especially being a little bit weaker and having a little bit more issues. So yeah, so just trying to focus on that right now. I am meeting a girl I met at the run club downtown just to do about 5 miles with her. She's doing her long run today, so I'm only running part of it with her. And we're just taking it at a nice, really chill, easy pace. So hopefully the hip will do well. I definitely felt better when I was doing those exercises. But yeah, for now, I'm going to go get this run done. Alrighty, just got back from my run with my friend downtown. Really nice. I actually used to live downtown and used to run all those spots regularly, so definitely makes me miss being downtown a little bit more. Even though I love the silence of a nice, quiet neighborhood, there's just something nice about being downtown too. So it was a nice run, beautiful morning for it. But just reflecting on the week, legs are definitely feeling pretty stiff, pretty tired. I think I ended up hitting very close to 50 miles this week, not just my normal scheduled runs, but also running in the High Rocks workout as well. So it was a decent jump in mileage from last week to this week. So my legs are definitely feeling it. I probably will need a little bit of a deload week next week just to kind of recover a little bit, especially since I just came off of racing that half last Saturday too. So definitely pushing it a little bit, and I think I need to kind of scale it back just a hair just so that I don't end up getting injured, especially since I am starting to feel a little bit of hip soreness too. Makes me a little nervous, but we'll scale it back and hopefully get everything under control. But in terms of like feelings from the race specifically, you know, I definitely feel like at this point I'm starting to feel a little post-race blues. I was riding a really good high there for a couple days afterward, and now like I've kind of come down from that and I'm feeling like a little sad. You know I have, you know, my marathon up and coming, which is my big race, but there is something about racing that just is so fun and exciting, and you're preparing for it and you're thinking about it a lot. So when you go from that to back in the thick of training, it can be definitely emotionally hard to get your mind right and back into that training mode. I definitely do think that it has helped me being a lot more social the past couple weeks, meeting new people, running with people, going to run clubs, doing the High Rocks workouts. It allows me to be a little bit more flexible in my training, make things a little bit more fun. So it's not the same thing day in, day out. I think if that were the case, I'd be feeling a lot worse. But because I've been able to incorporate a lot of the social component into my training, I think that's definitely helped me, especially this week. But overall, I think it was a good week. It was successful, and looking forward to next week. So I hope you guys learned something in this video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.